Hi, I'm Joseph Brancato. I am an architect and an urban planner. I am the regional managing principal at Gensler. Been at Gensler for 38 years. We're the leading architecture firm in the world. Been able to grow here, have had some great mentors and been able to grow and make a difference not only in our practice. I've been able to open up many offices throughout the U.S. and Latin America, and I feel quite fortunate because the lessons I learned when I was younger have really enabled me to work and earn every day. So my grandparents were from Sicily, 3 of them from Sicily, 2 from Palermo, 1 from Ganji, and then 1 from Naples. So we had the Brancatos, the Capras, the Di Marias, and the Scuderies. Today, outside of Palermo, there's a Villa Scuderi. I looked back at the Ellis Island documents. I saw that my grandmother came here when she was 8 years old in the late 1800s, and they had her and her 2 sisters had $11 to their name, and they went to Brooklyn. They had to put an address. There was an address in Brooklyn. They stayed there for a while and went to Saddlebrook, New Jersey, and that's where they were for a number of years. I was born into an incredible Italian-American family. My parents, my first 5 years of my life, lived in Passaic, New Jersey. 3 family houses, and one after the other, just stacked up. And my parents lived on the top floor, and my grandmother lived on the middle floor, and my aunt and cousins lived on the ground floor. And on that street in Passaic, Henry Street, I remember, there was eight relatives, 8 families of relatives, all Italian Americans that were here, that settled in the United States, in New Jersey. And so I couldn't get into trouble. I was too young anyway, but everybody was there. Everybody, if you walk down the street, there were cousins, there were aunts and uncles, there were grandparents. They're all watching out for you. And you could go into any one of their houses and get something to eat or get a drink because it was all family. I have 4 siblings, 2 brothers, 2 sisters. My parents, my father was a truck driver, and my parents really taught us about family first. Nothing more important than watching out and taking care of your family. To love each other, to be honest, high integrity. You could have whatever you want in the United States because you just needed to work for it. Education was a priority, even though my father didn't get past the 10th grade. But that was a priority for the family. So we grew up in a way that we respected everybody. We wanted to make our parents, our family proud, and so we earned it. We felt that we had to earn it every day, whether it was earning a good score on our tests or it was scoring a touchdown in a football game. It didn't matter. We wanted to earn it. We wanted to make the family proud. I want to share a few thoughts. I went through an exercise once that talked about creating my life's board of directors. And what that meant is who had influence in my life. Most important people, the most important 8 people in my life that influenced me. And as I started to prepare it, I thought about my Pop Warner football coach, Mike Campanella. And I thought, because he taught me how to work hard, always want to get out there, do your best, win, be a good sport, but also be hungry to win. Mike Campanella, great guy. Another person that sat at my life's board of directors was my uncle Sal. I remember he took me to a construction site when I was about 10 years old. And while I was really liked the tractors and the dirt that was being moved around and some of the heavy equipment, he brought me in the construction trailer and showed me the plans. And he said, you should really think about design. The people that prepare these plans, the architects, they really are very thoughtful. They think about this before it ever gets built. He had some really nice influence. He never missed one of my Little League games or one of my football games. My Uncle Sal lived in the same town. And then when I was in high school, I took mechanical drawing. And I didn't like mechanical drawing after the first 2 weeks, and I was going to drop that class. And the teacher came up to me. His name was Mr. Philippone. And Mr. Philippone said, Joe, do you like architectural drawing? I said, I've never done it, but I think I want to be an architect, because I looked at these plans once my uncle showed me, and I've read about it a bit, what architects do, and I think that would be interesting. Even though there wasn't a class for architectural drawing, he took out a book, and for 3 years, my sophomore, junior, senior year, I took his class. And he guided me. He really cared about me. I never knew why. I get on to college. I get into architecture school. I'm trying to work at school, get my schoolwork done, which was a lot, and I tried to get certain jobs that I could make a little bit of money, so I could pay for the school. And there was a job that I could get credits for some of the urban planning curriculum at the campus planning department. You also got paid. I really wanted that job, but so did everybody. I applied late, and I got the job. First day, I was in the office. Somebody comes up to me and says, Mr. Esposito wants to see you in his office. So I turned to the person next to me and I said, who's Mr. Esposito? He said, oh, he's the boss. I said, what did I do wrong? I've only been here for a few hours. I went in, I saw Mr. Esposito. He closed the door and he said, Joe, are you from Fair Lawn, New Jersey? I said, yes. And he said, yeah, I thought so. He said, you know, my father knows your Uncle Vinny very well. I said, really? He said, yes. I said, well, that's great. He said, look, if you need anything while you're working here, just let me know. And I walked out, and I felt great. My parents didn't have a lot. But as we grew up, we didn't know any better. My brothers and sisters and I, we felt we had everything. Well, we may have gone on 1 or 2 vacations. My first 18 years of living, and that was, in the car with 5 kids driving for a few hours to somewhere. But we always felt we had plenty. We never, ever felt we didn't have it. I always wanted to make my parents proud. And one of the times that I was most proud was the day I graduated from architecture school. I didn't get in as a freshman into architecture school. I got into everything but architecture. And I really had to work hard, but I had a passion for architecture. I worked hard my first year, and I was able to apply, and was able to get in. At that point, I decided not only am I going to get a Bachelor of Architecture degree, but I'm also going to get a degree in urban planning. And I did that. I got a double degree. I did really well, finished at the top of my class. I've had great opportunity to work on Euro Disney many, many years ago outside of Paris. I learned a lot. I contributed a bit. was really proud of what we did over at Euro Disney. And I've worked on many buildings here in New York that are just really spectacular buildings and interior spaces and headquarters for companies like J.P. Morgan and Disney, so many of them. But there's one project that's really meaningful to me, and that's the community center at Il Centro. It's the community center that I went after so hard to win, and because there was a passion, and I put a team together that shared my passion for our Italian American culture, and we did a fantastic job. It's not the biggest building in the world. It's and it's a clean design. It's really, really great. But what's really important is how it's being used. Now, when I think about when I'm gone from this world, and what do I want to be known for, I care a lot about the buildings and the spaces that I've been involved with from a design standpoint. But I feel most proud of being able to mentor other talent, people that work for us, and mentor them, the younger people. But beyond that, I love helping everybody. I help so many of my sons and my daughter's friends in terms of helping guide them and what they may want to do for their careers, and then helping them get jobs. I really feel that if you could help people, things will be good for you no matter what. And so at the end, when it's all over, I want people to say, he was a good person, he was honest, he was respectful, and he was a man of his word. That's the best for me. If I'm able to achieve that at the end, I will think I've lived a good life.